I think it's been a minute since I talked about the facets. I did kind of mention that I was going to split hope into two different things. Because like, if you've never heard me talk about the facets, these are thoughts. And since I'm not really good with emotions, I was told to listen to my thoughts and try to figure out where they're coming from and what they feel like. And so I started naming them. So these are, so when I say hope or the cynic or inner bitch, those are my thoughts. I know they're my thoughts. There is a filter that decides what I do and what I say. Now, a lot of times I like to think of them as the inmates in the asylum because some of the facets are too far one way. Like inner bitch. I don't have really any friends. I have family. And inner bitch, my roommate was actually like, I'd hate to think what inner bitch says about me. And I'm like, you don't want to know because see, like some of the stuff is not even going to be how I actually feel. Like inner bitch, if I lost all control of myself and that part, those thoughts came out of my mouth, which I don't even know if it's possible for all of that to come out. There is so much cruelty in inner bitch that I would not want to inflict on anybody. And then they would think that that's how I look at them all the time. See, I understand that my thoughts are black and white. I choose to live in the gray or more towards the white of the thoughts than the black of the thoughts. You know, when you think of black and white thinking, it's yes or no, not maybe, yes or no. It's good or it's bad, not okay. You know, like there is no in between. And I try to live in the in between. And I try to live more towards the light instead of the dark. And that is one of the reasons why inner bitch barely gets anything past the warden, if you consider the thoughts that I have as inmates in the asylum and the warden is the filter. So I wanted to separate hope into two parts because I'm starting to feel like there are two parts to hope. There's hope that gets me out of bed in the morning. There's hope that when I have a handful of pills, I'm putting them in the pill minder instead of just taking them all. There's hope that says, you know, get out there and try again. And then there's Dippy. Dippy's stupid. Dippy was a part of hope. And a lot of, like, Dippy hopes for the best, but Dippy has some very, I would almost say unrealistic ideas. But at the same time, if you don't try, you can't win. I know that luck normally says you're going to lose, but I'd rather try. So Dippy runs with that. And Dippy does not see red flags, and Dippy does not listen to, like a part of me knows, like, there's a certain thing going on, and Dippy is wanting to run with it. And I am probably going to run with it. Like, because I know that the thing Dippy wants to do is something that until it happens, It's going to be stuck in there. Just like I had said, if I wouldn't have went to Ohio, I would have kept, Dippy would have kept being like, he's there, my person, my person, my person. Dippy has to be slapped with reality. And the cynic is the one who's running the database and can provide knowledge of, this is what's worked, this is what hasn't worked, these are stories, like these are experiences, so on and so forth. Like the cynic sees everything. Everything. And I know that, the cynic would discount a lot of things that, it's like, hey, you could be wrong. This could be the anomaly, And that's not Dippy saying that. That's the devil's advocate, which is different than the cynic. Because the devil's advocate, any thought I have, the devil's advocate is going to counter it. That is how my brain works. The devil's advocate will counter it. Any thought I have. So when inner bitch is going off in my head, the devil's advocate is trying to calm her down. The devil's advocate is asking, about overreacting, being stuck in our feelings. And the devil's advocate is trying to keep the peace in things. The thing about Dippy, though, is that until I am experiencing reality, whatever dreams Dippy comes up with have to be seen through. Now, there are, there's 10 million thoughts in my head about how I have to control that impulse to do what Dippy wants. But see, Dippy is not locked up in the asylum. She's got free range. Like, a lot of times, like when I talk, like Dippy is me. Dippy is me. A lot of crazy ideas, but genuinely believes in a lot of things and gets along well with mischief. Gets along very freaking well with mischief. As far as thought processes go, because the impulsiveness of my ADHD will say, we're walking into this with our eyes open. I mean, that's the thing. Even though I kind of have to do what Dippy wants, I kind of have to go with Dippy's thoughts, I know that I'm walking into things with my eyes wide open because I am hearing inner bitch. I am hearing cynic. I am hearing jade. I am hearing hope and devil's advocate and rage and mayhem. Some of those other ones that are probably in like maximum security if it was an actual asylum with people. Those I don't feel too much and don't really get thoughts from them because inner bitch is bitchy. Getting really mad, that's something that doesn't happen to me very often. So I mean, the type of trouble Dippy gets me into is not like, yeah, I get hurt. But, I keep trying in this world. I keep trying to be myself, to be accepted, to be understood. And, Dippy is probably the most authentic part of me. And, I walk into things with my eyes open. I truly do.